Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. Some friends familiar with GX might say, you've been talking for half a day, you've already talked for 2 hours, and you still haven't gotten to ApplyGameplayEbility and Game Effect. Don't be impatient, okay? Because this stuff is really complicated. Since every skill in the later code is particularly complex, we still need to do a little bit step by step in the front, debug it, then compile and implement it, do a little bit, debug, compile, and implement. So now we are going to prepare such a skill. This skill, we will directly, now we are preparing our combo skill. After we let it inherit, this will be fine. Then we call it GA and call it Mano. That is it is a general skill. This skill, the effect we want to achieve is, no matter which character uses this skill, they can all have this skill. Then he just needs to modify the animation assets. All his other logic is the same. So it is a very basic, very core skill. Then okay, with that in place, we then go into our character. Let's first close all the unnecessary ones here. Since it is a basic skill, we will configure it in the default. Okay, let's spread out this graph. Then here, previously, there should have been an ability called ApplyGameplayEffectToTarget. Let's find it. Should be here. We add a new one. Add a new tag. Currently, this tag definitely doesn't exist yet. We have it right. Having it is good. This one came from our C++. Came from C++. We'll give it a melo. This is the thing, and its corresponding class as GMelo. Okay. And now we go back to our GA class. Okay, let's directly write this ability, activation. But of course, we need to add this ability tag because it's clearly the mellow within the action. So let's add a mellow to it. After adding it, we put it here. Okay. Alright, so how do we write this? Let's write it first. Let's write it simply for now. First, let's check the current cost. Cost is its consumption. We haven't used it yet. It's just that we're going through this process here. Let's walk through it for everyone. Then let's check it now. This cooldown, that is our consumption in cooldown. It can be configured here to check our attributes. If possible, then we will continue further down. If both checks pass, we make a branch here. Let's try to align it like this, okay? Then if it doesn't pass, we directly under ability and won't let it perform the ability. Let's commit to submit this capability. After committing, we now need to do a simple process. Then we'll have it play a montage at this location, then press the wait. Then regarding the montage here, we need to set this thing as a variable. Then we also set this rate as a variable. Okay, we don't have this montage yet, right? If we don't have it, we go here. Go to our asset library here. We find our animation. We copy these 3 assets over. They should be BCD. Let's copy it. These 3 brothers. Then move them into our animation. Let's put them all here. We'll manage them properly. Then similarly, let's rename them. Then we'll change them one by one. Then first we'll make a single record. We won't do damage detection or anything. We'll do that later. We'll ignore this slow. Let's delete the slow. Okay. As for this animation blueprint, let's delete this animation notify. Because later we will write our own animation notifications. We don't need his animation notification, okay? Because we didn't use his animation blueprint either. Right. Then we find it like this. Okay. If there is an animation blueprint here, actually there is something here. It seems we haven't deleted it. Because we don't use it, let's delete it. To avoid confusing everyone with too many things, we don't need this here. Just get rid of it. Okay? No need for this. Okay, then let's go back to our meden. Go back to our street hit. So here, let's first give it a default montage B. And when this animation finishes or blends out, or is interrupted, we will directly give it an EndAbility. And then here, if we are on the server, we need to perform a series of damage checks later, judgments, etc. We won't do this for now. Okay, so now let's see if this ability can be activated smoothly. Of course, this ability cannot be activated smoothly right now. That is, although it has been registered here. For example, we started for everyone. Let's start in single player mode first. Okay. This way, it's easier for everyone to see in single player mode. Press this key, which is the key to the left of enter. It should be the single quote or double quote key. Yes, press 3. You'll see that we already have this manual ability, but we can't activate it, right? So we need to set up an input mapping here. Only then can it be activated. Now, regarding the input mapping, we go to the input section. We just need to set this jump 3. Then we give it a manual. Actually, it's our mouse left button. Then, in this default, in this mapping insert, we add a manual. This manual is actually the same as this jump. It's triggered by pressing a key. Then we click the mouse left button. This way we can have it. Actually, if these are no longer needed, we can delete them. They are not used yet. We should also delete this drawbar to avoid causing interference to it. Okay, so with that in place, we still need to do the binding. Right, how did we achieve this binding originally? Originally, we did the binding inside the character because this is a general input mapping. So here, we will have an input here, right? So we need to add something more here. Okay, so how do we do it? Let's erase it. Remember to save before erasing. Don't force it to close, otherwise data will be lost. Okay, let's come here. Come to our here, the character. Okay, so right here, we'll continue adding below here. We'll give it a mono action, which is actually our left button. Okay, after having the mono action, what then? Then we definitely need to bind it here, right? Because our mouse button, we only have a single button. So you can refer to, for reference, we only need to bind one start. Okay, we just need to paste this over. Paste it over. After pasting, remember to change this input action. If you don't change it, your jump and attack will be linked together. That would be wrong. Okay, so we don't have this method yet. Let's go write this method. This method, actually we just call it here. It doesn't require any parameters either. We call it active manner. Let's create its implementation. Of course, create it. After implementing it, down here we will modify this method here. Let's copy the method name. It should be placed here. And its activation method is also very simple. We just pass a tag and our ASC. As for this tag, where does the tag come from? It's from earlier, where we declared many tags for everyone. Right here, we use this tag. You cut it into pieces. You can see that its characters are not connected. It should be this one. This tag of ours is fine. Then go back to our character. We use this tag, don't get it wrong. Okay, so this ability of ours should now be able to be activated correctly. Then, of course, we still need to configure it in Blueprint, because, after all, this is a pointer. It hasn't been pointed to yet. Which specific asset it is. Never mind that. This means some of his resources might be occupied. He needs to wait a moment to eat or handle something. We should finish this online feature first. Then we will provide everyone with the subsequent attribute damage. Because the subsequent attribute damage is very complex. It is the most complex way to implement. Because when you deal with attribute damage, you need to modify health points. You need to create hit effects, as well as attack hit effects. That is, attack hit effects and damage received effects. These all need to be separated. You cannot combine them together. Otherwise, it won't be easy to manage later. And then you also need to trigger death. So regarding this, we have arranged it like this. Many GA's tutorials on the market, including the previous gas tutorial I wrote myself. We just directly write out all the gas classes in one go. Then we go on to build the abilities. But if you are very proficient in this, you will have no problem at all. If you weren't very skilled with this GS before, writing it this way, you might get confused. Right, okay. So let's go back to our character. Find this default class. Then we input this input. Here we will have a mana. Okay, now let's try again. Let's see if we can succeed. Successfully get this thing done. Hey, you'll notice I can now perfectly handle this damage. This single click function, right, a skill. This is actually a skill. Let's open 2. See if it can observe them. Right, perfect. So we have achieved the goal of this lesson. Thank you all.